The diagnosis was multiple sclerosis. Renata Blum didn't know it yet on the morning of March the 14th. She knew she had been more fatigued than usual, but she had a 6-week-old at home and had attributed the fatigue to that. She knew her left leg felt slightly off, but she had attributed that to the way she'd been sitting during nursing sessions. She knew things were slightly wrong in the way that new mothers know things are slightly wrong and then attribute them to the circumstance of new motherhood, which covers a remarkable range of symptoms. Their collie, Sage, had been watching her for a week, not the baby. Renata, Sage had always been attentive to family members' physical states. It was a breed characteristic she had heard about, but not fully experienced until this week, when Sage began tracking Renata with a specificity that felt different from normal follow-the-person behavior. Different in the way that deliberate watching is different from habitual proximity. On the morning of March the 14th, Renata was carrying the baby in the carrier down the stairs from the second floor. This was something she had done every morning. The stairs had 12 steps and a landing. She had navigated them dozens of times since coming home from the hospital. At the 4th step, her left leg did not respond the way she expected. Not a dramatic failure. A delay, a fraction of a second, where the leg did not do what she had asked it to do. She caught herself on the railing. She did not fall. She was at step 4 with the baby in the carrier, and the catch had been quick enough, and everything was fine. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Sage was between her and the open staircase below. The dog had moved ahead of her on the stairs, not beside, not behind, but below, positioned on the step below with her body filling the descent path. She was looking up at Renata. Renata stood on step 4 for a moment. She held the railing. She looked at Sage. She thought about the week of specific watching. She thought about the fraction of a second delay in her leg. She said, "Something is wrong." She said it out loud to the dog, which is what people say to dogs when they are speaking to themselves. She went back upstairs. She put the baby in the crib. She called her husband. She called her doctor that afternoon. She described the leg. The doctor ordered an MRI. The MRI showed lesions. 12 days later, the diagnosis was confirmed. The neurologist said, "You caught this early." She said the early intervention window mattered significantly. She asked what had made Renata call when she had. Renata described the stairs and the dog. "Has your pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard." The neurologist was quiet. Then she said, "Dogs have been documented to detect neurological changes through volatile organic compound profiles, the chemical changes that precede and accompany neurological events." She said, "A week of behavioral change preceding a neurological symptom is not outside what the research suggests is possible. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one." Renata is in treatment. The outcome is good. She does not use that word cure because her neurologist does not, but she uses the word manageable, which is the word that matters. Sage sleeps in the hallway outside her bedroom now, not guarding the baby. Her husband has that covered. Watching Renata, every morning at the top of the stairs, Sage goes first. The next story involves a rescue dog who had been surrendered for being too anxious, and what anxiety turned out to be when the family finally understood it.